Okay. Um, so we are in Angular session. So in the last session, we have seen several basics. Last 3-4 sessions, we have seen several fundamentals of Angular, like how to set up your Angular uh, dev box. And especially in the last session, we have seen how to manage different versions of the Angular side by side. So on the same system, you can create Angular 2 version, Angular 6 version, Angular 9 version, and you can manage Angular applications under different versions. So in the previous session, we have seen how to do that. And let's dig into the core development activities of the Angular. So, and let's start with interpolation. So in Angular, interpolation is one of the important concept and one of the fundamentals of Angular. So whenever you are using Angular, so interpolation is the uh, like basic thing of the Angular. So what is that interpolation? So here I gave in my blog, I gave a good example. So two-way binding is a key feature in Angular. So two-way binding enable user to view changes within no time by using interpolation. So this is interpolation, and remember, interpolation is very important with respect to your interview questions and also with respect to your development. So if you are using Angular, interpolation is one of the key feature. So Angular achieves two-way binding. In below example, I'll define two text boxes and label. Data entered in a text box will be reflected labels with performing an action. To update will happen very moment when you enter the text. So let's do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like as you are seeing here, I'm going to put two text boxes, and the moment you type text in the first name, last name, you're going to see the full name in the below label. So how we are going to achieve that? Uh, let's see. So in order to do that, you have to include few namespaces. Okay. So let's do this. So first, we already have a component, right? The first component or second component in our application, like this we have. So I'll take first component. So let's take this. Okay, so I'll take the second component. Okay, so you can define your UI, the text boxes. So like this, the first name input type text, last name input type text, you can do that. And you can use the divs. Okay, let's do this. Div first name input type text, and if you want you can give so div second name input type text. So in Angular we don't have any tools like any toolbox like in the ASPX. You have to write the code. So go to CMD. I'll keep this open. ng serve -o, that will build your application. So what is happening? The specified command is invalid for a list of available options. Why this is invalid? Okay, it's ng server, not the server. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm going to type like br so that it will give some space, break. So then div. So the label ID, I'll give some ID, LBL full name. Okay, so this is your application, and why it did not show anything. Input type text. What is that? Unexpected character. Okay, so here we are missing the closing. Yeah, so if you load second, see, okay, input type text, there is something. What is the wrong? Second name. Yeah, you got first name and second name, right? So my intention when you type something here and when you type something here, I want to display the full name here. And how this will work in Angular, so that's we are going to see it now. Okay, so here close this label. Full name. Full name is okay. Okay, so when I type something like .NET updates, I should see the .NET updates as a name, full name here. So how can we do that? So in order to do that, we will take help of uh, like few Angular um, concepts. Okay. So first of all, we are going to use the model in this concept. Okay. So go to your my second component.ts. So there you define the model. So first name, string, and it will be empty. So last name. So there are various ways how you can define the model. So this is one of the way. So you come here and bind that model here. So I define a model and then you come here and bind that model here. So how can you bind the model? ngModel is the ngModel. So equal to first name. So this one ngModel equal to second name. So what does it mean? This text box, it bound to a model called first name, where we declared first name here. And this text box, it bound to a model called second name, and where we declared it, okay, its last name here. So use the same. Okay, then here within the label, so the full name is, and this is called interpolation. So this is called interpolation. Give some space. So first name, last name. Okay, just run this, and definitely it will throw some error because we need to use some classes to support this. So close this and run this. So ngModel, since it is known as a property input, okay, so ngModel is not recognized. Can't bind ngModel since it is known property of input type. Okay, so there is a error with ngModel. So how can we solve this error with ngModel? So in order to use ngModel, you have to use FormsModule in your components. So FormsModule you have to use in your component. So where you will have that FormsModule. So here I'm using it, right? So import from @Angular forms, but still it will not solve the issue. So you need to register this at your module level. So let's see whether it's solving the issue or not. No, it's not solving the issue. So go back here, go to your app module.ts. So here import from so what is that? Angular is it Angular core or Angular forms? Yeah, Angular forms. So include the form. Oh, I did not include the form module here. Yeah, form module. Okay, so let's see. I will not do this. Let's see whether no, it's still not solving. So we have to register here import from Angular is it forms? Yes, forms form module. And here you have to declare, you have to register in the uh, do we need to declare it at uh, imports, or do we need to declare it at declarations? So the classes which we want to use, like the first component, second component, third component, that you have to use it in the declarations, but these are like imports, right? So these imports at application level you have to use, and these you have to mention at the import level, so that will be imported at application level and you can use them. So yes, it's solved. Okay, so now there are no errors, and see the interpolation, how the interpolation works. Are you seeing? On the moment when you are typing it, it's updating. Okay, So how this is working? Let's recap what I have done. So I declared two text boxes, okay, and I declared a label, and in my component.ts I declared model. So these are model properties. So in API, if you remember, we defined like patient information as a model class, and where we have multiple properties. So here in Angular, I'm declaring these two properties. So you can declare the individual properties. You can declare a class. We will see how to declare a class as a model later. Just I declared two properties here, and then I imported FormsModule, and I registered FormsModule in the import section so that I can use the FormsModule in the component level. And after that I came here and imported the FormsModule here, and then in the HTML page, when I say ngModel like this, one square bracket open, one normal bracket open, ngModel, closing normal bracket and closing square bracket, equal to first name. So this first name is nothing but this first name, okay. Then again it's a text box, ngModel last name, this is last name, and in the label I'm using the first name and last name. So this is the interpolation, and the impact is like the moment you make changes on the text box, that will be reflected back. Can you see? Yeah. So what if I remove this? So if I remove this, those will be treated as labels. So if you keep first name within the double parenthesis, so that will be treated, okay. Angular interpretation, it will treat whatever you kept within the double brackets as a model, and it will get the value and replace here. See, so the single will not work, you have to put doubles. So this is called interpolation. So by using a model property, you are binding the model property to a text box, and you are using the same model in a label, so that whatever your value you are entering here, that will be added to the first name property, and that will be displayed here. Okay, so what will happen if I don't declare these values? Okay, so no error. Oh, how this is working? So let's see. So I removed the model declarations, and let's see how that's going to take. Open the console all the time. Okay, so still it's working. How it's working? Because you no need to declare. TypeScript and JavaScript is not a strongly typed language. So when you declare ngModel here, automatically it checks whether a model property exists here or not. If it doesn't exist, this will declare the first name. It will check the component whether there is any property exist or not. If it doesn't exist, it will declare it. Okay, but what if I do like this? Yeah, this is not going to reflect because there is no model property which is taking first names and last names. Okay, so but the proper way is declare a property here, declare model here, and use it on your form, so that uh, in next sessions we will see. మీరు ప్రత్యూష మీరు అన్మ్యూట్లో ఉన్నారు. హలో, హలో. యా, యా, నో ఇష్యూస్. Yeah. So the best way is declare properties here, model properties here, and bind it to your form. And in the next sessions, we will see how to read. So now we are reading the value from the text box and displaying here only. So in the next sessions, we will see how to read the entered name here and access the value here. So any question, this interpolation is the very basic and fundamental programming of your Angular. So please follow the steps which I've mentioned and let me know if you see any issues. Yeah, basically yeah, if you are using the interpolation, that will be for displaying. Okay, so you can access the values from the label, you can access values from the text box, and I'll show that later. This interpolation, it will retrieve the value from the model and it will display wherever you want to display. It's a good question. Like, yeah, interpolation will be used for displaying the data from the model. Okay, so I'll stop the session here. Follow the video again and try to replicate and let me know if you see any issues.